Hey everyone, this is Dark Knight from Method Gaming. Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. This one is going to be about Tag Team Arena, and I know it's been a while since I've made a video on Raid Shadow Legends. Frankly, there's been nothing that exciting going on, and there was a lot of speculation on Tag Team Arena, but I didn't want to make any videos until I actually get to try it. And this is the first day that the event is, well, not event, rather game mode is out on the live server. And if we go to the arena here, we have this new map with the classic arena and the tag team arena. So this is basically what it looks like. And also, I would highly recommend reading through the information here. In fact, I think we can do this right now and kind of highlight the important points of Tag Team Arena. But basically, what it is you're basically assembling 3 teams for your defense and for your offense as well. You can of course use the same champions that you put on defense for your offense. There's no exclusivity, but you can really use the same champion in 2 offense teams, for example. So these Venus right here, if you have only one Venus, you can only use her in the first team. You can't really put her here again. So basically this kind of gives us the opportunity to try out different teams, different methods. So I think this is a good point of the Tag Team Arena. I think it's too early for me to give my opinion on it, whether I think it's something positive or something negative for the game. It's just starting out, so it's kind of hard to foresee how it's going to turn out. But I think it's safe to say it's going to be way worse, at least for the top spots, for sure. Hopefully, what I'm hoping is that people who have decent teams and play regularly can still get to the good spots and can still get the good rewards. And if the whales are gonna whale it out somewhere at the top of the tiers, that's fine with everybody, I think, as long as all of us, or at least most of us, can get something decent for our trouble. So basically, with these 3 attacking teams, you're going to be attacking 3 defensive teams for your opponent. Of course, you can drag and drop and change up your teams as you like, depending on who you're going up against. So you're going to have to be, of course, mindful of who you're going up against. For example, if this team here is very strong and this is the other 2 are weak teams, make sure you have your stronger team against this first one, because there's no point in losing the first fight if you're only going to win the second 2. Okay. Don't forget to set your Tag Team Arena defense as well. I think you are prompted to do that in the beginning. If you aren't, if you just go for the battles, I believe the game automatically sets your offensive lineups as your defensive. So if you don't want to use the same defense as you're using for offense, or if you want to change the positions of the teams, or change a few champions here and there, make sure you go to the defense section. Let me just show you right here. So these are my teams that I have: Kymar, Apothecary, so on and so forth. You can see them for yourself. They're all speed teams. They're all based on the nuking strategy, pretty much. So what I'm hoping for is to outspeed the enemy when they attack me. Just like these are basically the exact same teams I will use on offense. And of course they need a lot of tweaking. I haven't really been too much into tweaking their gear, because honestly I've been really short on resources, specifically silver. But I'll get to it eventually. And of course there are a few champions that I'm working on right now that will replace some of these, because they're far better options, but we'll get to that in another video. Anyway, here's the bazaar, but it's not open yet. We'll get to the bazaar discussion a little later. And you also have your battle log where you can see your attacks. I already did my 5 free fights, and I might do a few more for you guys in this video. And I also had, this is my defensive battle log. I had 1 victory and 1 defeat so far. And this is where I'm at. I'm with 1,144 points out of 2,179. And you'll see this always going up. However, there's I already watched a couple of videos out by Salt and by Chosen about Tag Team Arena, and no offense to them or anything like that, but I think Salt was trying to explain this part here. I'm not sure if he got or maybe I didn't understand exactly what he was saying, but I don't think he got it exactly right. So I'm going to try and explain to you guys in this video, and hopefully I'm right in my iteration, because I could be wrong as well. Is what I'm saying. So let's just go back to the information button. Alright, so once you've set your defense, you can start attacking. You can refresh. The refresh is a 15-minute timer, just like with the classic arena. Gotta get used to calling it that. And basically, once you hit that battle button, you can choose your teams. You can, mix and match your teams. Then you go up 3 fights, one after the other. And, depending on the situation, you either win or you lose. Now, generally speaking, I would say, as far as strategy goes, you want to win everything here. You don't want to go up against an opponent where you might think that you might lose 1 or even 2 fights. But if you're just only losing 1, it's probably better to wait until a more suitable opponent shows up, where you're sure that you can win all 3 victories, because you're losing points for a defeat. And take a look at this. You win 9 plus 9, that's 18 points, but you lose 11. So you only get 7 net to push you up. So that's plus 7 points for the entire match, which is not good. You could go up against somebody who has a plus 8, for example, for each victory, but if you're sure that you're going to beat all 3 of them, that's 24 points. So 24 is much better than plus 7. Alright, next thing is this part. I think this is the part where people might get confused, and I've been looking at it. I've been trying to make sure that I don't have it wrong myself, but I think this is basically what it is, because it's written down here black and white as well. So basically, in Tag Team Arena, tier placement happens every Monday at 6 UTC. The progress bar shows your position within your tier, whether you're at the bottom, somewhere in the middle, or holding one of the top positions. So this red bar is not good. It means that if you continue to stay in this section of the tier, you're going to be degraded to the lower tier. Being here means that at reset, you will stay within the same tier. And if you're in the green, that means that you will be promoted to the next tier. As far as I understand from what is written here, this will happen once a week, on Monday at the reset. So if on Monday at the reset you're here, you'll go from, let's say, bronze 4 to bronze 3. So next week, that's what's going to happen to most of the people who are in this bracket right here. If you're still here, you remain at bronze 4, and since there's nothing lower than bronze 4, anybody who's here will probably just still remain in bronze 4. But if you're somewhere higher up in the next few weeks, you might actually be pushed down 1 tier. Let's read this part here. The progress bar color indicates what will happen when tier placement occurs. Red means you'll be demoted to a lower tier, yellow means you'll stay in the same tier, green means you'll be promoted to a higher tier, which is basically what I just said. After tier placement, all players start with 1000 Tag Arena points in their respective tier. So basically, Monday, tier resets. Let's say that you're here. You were in bronze 4 and you were on the green. The arena resets and you end up in bronze 3 with 1000 points. So you'll be somewhere here in the middle. And once you start your fights, do your fights, whatever, you're going to move up either towards the green or towards the red, or stay somewhere in the middle. And this is why I think, unlike with the regular arena or classic arena, as they call it now, it's actually, for people who want to go up tiers, it's actually important to make sure that you have a really good defense, because you only have 5 fights, unless you're refreshing for gems. And for these 5 fights, you never know how many people are going to attack you in the meantime. So if you have a good defense, 2 things are going to happen. Well, maybe 3, but mostly two things. One, people will avoid you because there will be easier fights to pick, and they will want to make sure that they're getting the maximum points that they can out of every single fight. So if they see you rocking a difficult, three difficult lineups that they are not sure they can beat, or that they have their doubts that they can beat, then this is good for you. On the other hand, if somebody attacks you, there's a chance that they might lose, just like that first defense. I won all three of my fights. I don't know why, but I did it on defense, which basically gave me 9, 18, 27 points right there. And before this defeat here, when I was looking at the battle screen, I was in the green because I had more points than this. And apparently I was pushed into the green bar. And this is the other important thing that I wanted to mention. Salt was saying in his video that you need to reach this number here. It's ever changing and you need to reach it in order to move to the next tier. That's actually, I think that's not accurate. From what I have seen, and let's just pull it up again, because it's actually written down explicit in the explanation. So the progress bar color, blah 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 blah. Red means you've been demoted, and so on and so forth. No, that's not it. Hold on, I don't think it's this one. Apologies. There was somewhere, I think it was the last thing they mentioned about tier placement. Okay, so there it is. Okay, so tag arena tiers have no point limits. The current highest points total in your tier is shown next to your current points above the progress bar. So what they're saying is this: the current highest points total in your tier, which I assume is this, is shown next to your current points above the progress bar, which should be this. So basically it says here you can see how far you have to go if you want to take first place in your tier. But of course not everybody can take first place in the tier, so it makes no sense for us to be shooting for 5,000 points or however many points, because only the person with the most points will ever be able to will be showing up here basically. And unless you really want to be number one in your tier, there's really no point in going for that number as long as you are in the green. Like, let's take a look at this example right here. So 5,000 points is the guy who's over here at the top. We have 4,250 points and we're somewhere in the top 30%, or rather bottom 30%, sorry, of the tier. But that means there's 30% of the players behind us until we reach this threshold. So maybe we're looking at about 3,900 points. If we fall below that, we might actually go into this tier here. But if we stay at 4,250 and if this holds at about 3,900, we will be safe for the most part. So that's the way I understand it. So I don't think you really actually need to push that hard in order to be chasing that number here. This is what it looks like right now live. So as somebody who has been really enjoying, maybe, or really just trying to grind, this arena has got 2,188 points. That's probably the person who's got the most points in the entire game right now, because everybody should be in this rank. So what that means is if I push a few more points, I should go into the green here. And again, this brings me back to my initial thought that you need a strong defense, because for 5 fights, if you're only doing 5 fights a day, you want to be able to have a strong defense to make sure that people are either not attacking you or they are losing fights when they attack you. So they can basically push you up without you even playing, without you even doing matches, more than 5 I mean. If other people can push you up and keep you in the safe zone somewhere here, that would be, that would be the best. Pretty much amazing. So that's the way that I understand the system. And another thing is, if these tier movements, going up one tier, going down one tier, or staying the same tier, only happens on reset, that means that we are looking at a very long climb until we reach gold 4. So let's just take a look. I think there was a visual representation of the tiers in one of the pictures here. Just see if I can find it. Maybe not. Maybe it was this one. I think it was this one because it showed the rewards for the different tiers. This has to do with the point that Chosen was making. He was hoping for the bazaar to hit next week. I seriously doubt that. In fact, I think it's going to be a while before we see the bazaar or the rewards. You probably noticed that they were talking about one-time rewards for Tag Team Arena. And there we go, special one-time only Tag Team Arena rewards. And we've got bronze 1, 2, 3, 4, silver 1, 2, 3, 4, up to gold 4. So right now we're here. So how many weeks do we need if we're only placing upwards in every single week? How many weeks do we need to actually reach gold 4, from what I understand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 weeks. That's almost 2.5, almost 3 months. So from my understanding with how this system works, it'll be 2.5 months before we actually see people in gold 4. And that basically tells me that it's going to be at least 2.5 months before we receive any of these rewards. Because how can you get the rewards for gold 4 if you never had the chance to reach gold 4, right? And if you can only go up one tier every single week, which seems to be the case, then you can't really reach gold 4 without going the full however many weeks it is. So I also think that at this point in time, maybe they'll drop the bazaar. Maybe it'll be somewhere here in the middle. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what kind of resources we get every week, what sort of rewards we get every week. Maybe if we start getting those tokens for the bazaar, maybe they'll drop the bazaar sooner. But I wouldn't hold my breath, to be honest with you guys. All right, so let's finish off with a few fights. I'm just going to do a refresh real quick. See if we can win some matches. And see if we can go in the green here if we're lucky. Okay, so let me just take a look at these. One thing I do like is that you actually have to take a look at the all the enemies teams and take a look at their power. Think about what sort of teams you're gonna use and so on. So I think these will be fairly easy to do from what I can see. So let's just give it a shot, see if it works out. Okay. Now the good thing is you actually don't have to worry about hitting auto during a fight and worrying about that the next fight, for example, if it's something difficult, it's gonna start on auto and you might lose because you got distracted. For every fight, auto stops and basically resets. You have to hit it again for every single fight, which is, I think it's a good thing because if you end up forgetting about that different fight near the end and your guys just start doing what they're doing and it's the wrong thing, it's it's going to be an issue. Okay, so that was an easy win. Okay, let's see. 3 victories, and there we go. So you see, I'm in the green now. I'm like exactly at the breaking point here, but I am in the green. And if I win a few more matches, I might probably see a little movement over here. So let's give it a shot. Okay, let's check this one. Okay. This might be nasty. This might be really nasty, actually. Okay, let's see if there's an easier opponent. Maybe this one. All right. Okay, should be good. Let's go like this. So when I was building my teams, like I said, I was going for the, you know, the attack, basically the farming teams, and I wanted to make sure that they're always doing the same thing, uh, even on auto, even on defense. Okay, so that was actually a tough fight. I was actually expecting for that first fight to be really easy, but it wasn't. Oh, Seer. So awesome. Okay, one down. Reset. I shouldn't have hit auto. Should have just used the... Okay, what do I want to do? Let's do the AoE again. Alright. And this should do it. Okay, so 27 points. There we go. You see that little sliver? I'm moving above the minimum. However, this could change. If suddenly all the people that are up here gain some points, that'll push me back into the yellow. So this actually, I know here it shows you the guy who's over here, the maximum amount of points, but I'd be more interested in actually knowing what the point threshold is here between staying in this tier and moving on to the next one. This for me is the more important number, which I think we need to actually be able to see. Maybe not now, but in the future. All right, let's try this one. Okay. Again, these could be nasty, but well, let's just try them and see how they work out. These other teams, I'm a little worried about the second and the third one that I'm using, because honestly, okay, I'm gonna manual this one. Ooh, okay, that was easy. Okay, another 24 points. All right, let's see. Looking for easy fights, and that's the thing here. You know, uh, I don't think there's a point in flexing. You know, being like, oh, look at me, I can beat this guy. He's the strongest guy in the whole selection. I can beat him. It's not about that. I don't think. It's more about just making sure you're getting the points, because you've got only 5 fights per day. If you're refreshing, that's fine. You know, one refresh for 15 gems. The first one, I would say that's affordable for almost everybody, even the free-to-play, because I'm almost 100% free to play. I have like $60 spent on the game, so that's not exactly pay to play or anything like that. So I'm a very low spender. I can afford that. I can afford the 15 gem refresh, but I would rather not do it if I don't have to. So that's kind of, I guess, in order for me to avoid that, I would actually need to make sure that I'm getting the maximum amount of points and not losing any fights. Otherwise, it's going to be an issue. Let's check this one. Okay, this will be my main team. This looks nasty, actually. Uh, okay. Well, let's give it a shot. Embarrass myself on the on YouTube. Yeah. Okay, first one's okay. You know, I don't even remember most of these guys' abilities. Okay, block debuffs. That was the decreased defense. Alright, good. And that would be the Karma Burn. Can we? Yes, we can. Beautiful. Okay, speed up into crit damage for us. Into... I know Tyro should be going first, but these guys are actually made for... okay. These guys are actually tuned for Clan Boss, both of them, and Tyro is slightly slower than... what's his face? Than Whirlim, so that's a bit of an issue in this particular team. Okay, so I seem to be moving up a little bit with every win. That's a good thing. Let me see if there's anything easy to do on this page. I know, guys, I know I'm being very selective, but I just don't want to mess this up. Okay, so I got one more fight, but these are looking kind of dicey, so I'm just going to refresh, and you can see that there's a 15-minute timer for the refreshes, which is cool. I mean, you can do a lot of refreshes without having to actually do any fights, because you only get 5 per day. And if you're pushing, it's still not going to take too long. Alright, let's see here. Okay. I was actually looking at this one right here, so let's see. Yep, these should be okay. So let's blow through the last token and we'll call it a day. If you're still watching, guys, thanks for that. I appreciate it. But yeah, if you have any questions or comments, just let me know. Let me know what you think about this this new game mode. It's not really new. It's just classic arena times 3, but it does require some thought behind the compositions that you're going to use, and you know, how you're going to build your defense. For example, when I first started out, I had my strongest team as the first defensive team, but now I don't think it's going to make a huge difference, but I actually pushed them to the third team. Just because I want people to wonder what they're going to use on the first and second fight, so they can save up their best team for last. It shouldn't make much of a difference because you can see your opponent's team, you know, beforehand, so you can pretty much just switch around your teams. But it's a bit psychological game, I guess. Okay, so we're at 1273. We're in the green for now, and I think this is all the runs I'm gonna do for today. I'm gonna keep watching this and see if I start dropping or if I start improving, if for example I win any defenses, so on and so forth. So I think overall, I think that this actually will mean that you're gonna have to do some serious work on your teams, especially the defense, in order to be able to push towards Gold 4, because I think Gold 4 might actually be turned out to be the platinum for the tag team arena, and I'm guessing that normally not the same amount of people that would be in Gold 4 in the classic arena would actually end up in Gold 4 in the tag team arena. But we'll wait and see, I guess. Like I said, if my understanding is correct, it's gonna be a couple months at least before we actually start seeing people that high up. So I guess it's gonna be, you know, whoever is the strongest. All right, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think there's that I'm getting something wrong or that I'm getting something right. I think this is the gist of it. But if you have another or different understanding, let me know. We can talk about it in the comment section. And if you like the content, don't forget to subscribe. I'm gonna be pushing out some more content for Raid Shadow Legends in the future. Um, I'm looking at maybe doing some champion highlights. There's at least one that I really want to do on what's his face, Gaelic, Ultimate Gaelic, because I think there's I'm onto something which might be you know, might save you some books, and at the same time make sure that you're making the most use out of him. But more on that on a separate video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video. Take care.